We've spent the year testing the best gaming laptops, digging deep into the new flavors of AMD processor and NVIDIA graphics silicon, and we know which notebooks sing and which are just tone deaf. We're not just talking about sleek, expensive new machines either. We've picked a range of gaming laptops at different price points to highlight which gives you the best bang for your buck, and which are just outright awesome. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 gaming laptops and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. Links to all products mentioned in the video are in the description below. You could also find a more detailed analysis and a comparison tool on our website, validconsumer.com. Number 5. Gigabyte Aorus 15 BMF. You'll find plenty of powerful and pricey systems on our list, but so many shoppers are on tight budgets. Gigabyte's Aorus 15 BMF is the best current solution as a lean, mean $999 gaming machine. It won't top the performance charts, but it's running sensible entry-level parts from the current generation of CPUs and GPUs while keeping the price down. Considering its price, we especially appreciate the partially metal build, the comfortable keyboard, the sharp 1080p webcam, and the broad port selection. If you have a hard spending limit of around $1,000, then the Aorus 15 BMF should be your first stop. Parents shopping for kids also don't need to consider the more expensive options on our list, as this model should be more than enough. This laptop can run all of the most popular video games, including the more demanding big-budget games at 1080p without issue. You shouldn't have to turn down the visual settings in games at that resolution either, making for a generally plug-and-play experience. Number 4. Lenovo Legion Pro 7i Gen 8. The Lenovo Legion Pro 7i is the best 16-inch gaming laptop, and since 16-inch is the best form factor for a gaming laptop, it is therefore the best gaming laptop overall as well. Win and win. It's a machine that comes in at a price point that makes the rest of the high-end RTX 40 series look even more ridiculous on their lofty $4,000 plus purchase. And it's the RTX 4080 model that has us impressed in testing, offering the sort of gaming performance that has me questioning why anyone would want an RTX 4090 machine. The Legion Pro 7i runs its RTX 4080 at just 150 watts TGP, which is the effective maximum of the GPU. Though manufacturers are given an extra 25-watt leeway to bulk up their own specs if they feel they can push a little extra juice through their own systems. Lenovo hasn't gone down that route. The Legion Pro knows what it likes, and it likes the 150-watt TGP and no more. The Legion Pro 7i uses a 13th gen Intel chip, the Core i9-13900HX. If, like me, you were to assume that would essentially be a slightly higher clocked version of the Core i9-13900H Asus has used in its excellent Zephyrus M16 gaming laptop, then you'd be wrong. Despite the almost identical name, this is an entirely different, substantially better CPU. Where the one in the Asus is a 14-core design with 6 P-cores, this is a 24-core setup with 8 P-cores and twice the number of E-cores. They're both capable of 5.4 GHz boost clocks, though inevitably the bigger chip has a higher base TDP of 45 watts. Then, backing up the key CPU/GPU combination is a 1TB PCIe 4.0 Samsung SSD and 32 GB of DDR5 5600 SK Hynix memory. The final part of the package is the 1600p 240Hz screen, which is fine. I fear I've been spoiled by the joy of the mini LED backlights used in the last few laptop displays I've tested, because this one lacks the punch that I now want from a gaming panel. What it does have, however, is the 16:10 aspect ratio I never knew I needed in a gaming laptop until I started using them on the regular. The 2560 by 1600 native resolution is a great match for the 16-inch screen size the Legion Pro comes rocking. The Legion Pro 7i manages to outperform both the Razer Blade 16 and the Asus Zephyrus M16 regularly at both 1080p and 1440p resolutions. Only the chonky boy MSI Titan GT77 is able to utilize its RTX 4090-ish GPU to its fullest potential. And then at the expense of acoustics and potentially your sanity. Because that's the thing I keep coming back to when I'm looking at this Lenovo machine. It's not the prettiest, but it sure can smash out them high gaming frame rates. And does so for about $2,000 less than the Blade 16. So it feels like a grown-up gaming laptop, is eminently usable, has performance in spades in both CPU and GPU terms, and doesn't cost anywhere near the same amount as the next-gen machines we've already checked out. I mean, it's not cheap. $2,750 is still a not inconsiderable chunk of change. But that's not an unexpected price tag for such a high-powered notebook. Number 3. Dell Alienware M18. The best gaming laptop we've tested is the Dell Alienware M18. This 18-inch premium model provides a fantastic gaming experience at 1080p or 1440p. It's available with fast AMD Ryzen 7000 CPUs and various discrete AMD and NVIDIA GPUs, up to an RTX 4090. Display options include an FHD Plus 480Hz and a 165Hz QHD Plus IPS panel, so you can choose whether you want smoother motion and better responsiveness or a sharper image. Even the keyboard is customizable, as you can get it with scissor or low-profile, clicky Cherry MX mechanical switches. If you game online, you'd be happy to hear it has Wi-Fi 6E and an Ethernet port to ensure a reliable internet connection. The main downside is portability, as this is a bulky, heavy laptop that's more of a desktop replacement than a device for on-the-go use. Also, the fans are very loud. You can get this laptop directly from Dell if you have trouble finding it elsewhere. A more portable alternative would be the Razer Blade 14, also one of the best gaming laptops we've tested. It's significantly thinner and lighter, so it's easier to carry around, and it still packs plenty of processing power to push high frame rates in demanding games. The trade-off is that this is an older model with NVIDIA 30 series GPUs, which lack frame generation, a feature that boosts frame rates by inserting artificially generated frames in supported games. Not many games currently support this feature, but as we've seen with DLSS, that number will likely grow quickly. There's a newer model with RTX 40 series GPUs, which we haven't tested but expect to be very similar. However, it's more expensive. Number 2. Asus ROG Strix Scar 16. This thing flies through anything you can throw at it, without reaching the dizzying heights of other premium RTX 40 series rigs. That's because the Strix Scar puts its power exactly where a PC gaming enthusiast wants it: cooling, CPU efficiency, and GPU power, all while still offering a crisp set of RGB panels and a mini LED display worthy of its next-generation chassis. This isn't a machine for the more subtle amongst us, though. While the RGB panel running across the lower lip can be switched off, this is still very much a gaming laptop. The translucent design across the main deck wasn't quite our favorite touch and does add to this gamer aesthetic while slightly cheapening the experience, but this is down to personal preference. The lid sports a large ROG logo and a series of etched diagonal lines along the chunky grille towards the back, further removing this rig from your everyday office laptop. However, it's not such an in-your-face design, and putting those LEDs to sleep certainly keeps the vibe slick. We've also got one of the best screens we've had the pleasure of using on a gaming laptop. Asus has branded its mini LED screens Nebula HDR, and they sing. Between 1024 dimming zones and 1100 plus nits of peak brightness, colors pop with an excellent vividity and balance well with a deep, rich contrast. Throw in Dolby Atmos and a solid virtual surround system, and you've got a seriously immersive experience. That's, of course, backed up with a high-end set of configuration options. The ROG Strix Scar 16 can move up to an i9-13980HX CPU with an RTX 4090 card. Those are specs that are sure to satisfy anyone looking for a top-shelf rig. We tested an RTX 4080 rig with the Intel i9-13980HX processor that comes with both this and the 4090 configuration, drawing a 17,611 time spy score and 32,876 fire strike score to beat out the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16 by some margin. The SCAR 16 even beat the larger and far more expensive RTX 4090 toting Razer Blade 18 in these benchmark tests as well. Those are numbers that will comfortably see you through the next 5 years of gaming, and potentially much more if we don't see any particularly demanding graphical breakthroughs. No, frame rates weren't as impressive as the ROG Zephyrus Pro 16, but equally you're not spending an extra grand on a fancy second screen, and the power to run it you might not use. Plus, at 3-figure frame rates and ultra settings across demanding titles, there's no arguing the raw horsepower baked into this machine. We're getting our hands on more RTX 40 series gaming laptops all the time, but for now, the Asus ROG Strix SCAR 16 is the best model to pass our desks. It's well worth the investment for anyone on the hunt for a high-end machine with bags of power to spare for future releases. Number 1. Razer Blade 15. The latest spin of the Razer Blade 15 once again improves on one of the best gaming laptops ever made. It has the same gorgeous CNC milled aluminum chassis as its predecessor, only this time it can house one of Nvidia's latest RTX 40 series GPUs and an Intel 13th Gen Core i9 CPU. When we played with the Razer Blade 15 Advanced with a 10th Gen Intel chip and RTX 3080 95-watt GPU inside it, and we fell in love all over again. The chassis hasn't changed since then. It just now ships with even more powerful components. We've also since then tried out the larger Razer Blade 17 with an RTX 3080 Ti humming away inside it, alongside one of those tasty 12th gen chips, and still stand bewildered by what will fit inside such a compact and neat chassis. That said, you will get some throttling because of that slimline design, and even on the larger Blade 17, the battery life can be a little slim, but you're still getting outstanding performance from a beautiful machine. The Blade 15 isn't the lightest gaming laptop you can buy, but £5 is still way better than plenty of traditional gaming laptops while also offering similar performance and specs. That heft helps make it feel solid too. It also means the Blade 15 travels well in your backpack. An excellent choice for the gamer on the go, or if you don't have the real estate for a full-blown gaming desktop and monitor. Keyboard snobs will be happy to see a larger shift and half-height arrow keys. The Blade 15 Advanced offers per-key RGB lighting over the base model's zonal lighting. Typing feels great, and I've always liked the feel of the Blade's keycaps. The trackpad can be frustrating at times, but you're gonna want to use a mouse with this gorgeous machine anyway, so it's not the end of the world. One of the best things about the Blade 15 is the number of configurations Razer offers. From the RTX 3060 Base Edition to the RTX 4070 Advanced with a 240Hz QHD panel, there's something for almost everyone. It's one of the most beautiful gaming laptops around and still one of the most powerful. And that's a wrap on our top 5 gaming laptops of the year. Each of these machines offers its own unique mix of power, performance, and affordability. Whether you are a dedicated gamer in search of the ultimate experience or simply need a solid laptop for casual gaming, there's an option here for you. Remember, the ideal gaming laptop isn't just about the specs, it's about how it aligns with your lifestyle and gaming preferences. Don't forget to check the links in the description for detailed information on each model. If this roundup was useful, please leave a like, subscribe for more tech reviews, and share this video with your gaming friends. Keep gaming, and we'll catch you in the next video.